Okay, I'm back. All the colors are done. Now I'm going to show the big reveal. And as I'm going to show you over here too, I cleaned my glass media mat and my spatulas after each color. And it's all clean. So let's take the magnets off. And just because I want to make sure nothing sticks, slowly peel off one side. It all looked pretty good on the average. Put this on the mat and I'm going to wash it. But see this one right here? It kind of bubbled and got through. This one did too. This one okay. But with most of them, did turn out pretty good. But you know what? Oh, here's another one that didn't work out. And it looked like the paper has warped on me. Let me double check this. So you know what? This is Nina. I think this is the 65 pound weight. So I would definitely, and hopefully you can see that, I'm going to angle that. See where there's warping? So I would definitely recommend, I'm going to go and use my 110 pound for my next one. But I'm not going to throw this away because it turned out okay. I mean, I'm not totally happy with it, but I'm not going to throw it away. I'll just use it, and I still will be using it as the backing of a card front and stuff. So I'm going to set this aside. In fact, what I learned from Jennifer McGuire and Christine Warner is got an old clipboard, and I'm going to set this on here so it dries. And remember I said in the beginning that I was going to use the whole sheet because I wanted to be able to make 2 card fronts, but because this is warping, and I did get this that didn't go through, and I know it's because this cardstock is not thick enough. I'm not going to finish off the rest of it. I'm just going to cut this off, and I'll use this for something else because I'm not going to throw that away, because you could definitely put that for messages or for die cuts or something. So I'm going to put this to the side. I'm going to let it dry and finish it off, and then I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of the card. And this just probably, I think this takes on the average about 20 minutes to dry. So I'll come back, let's see here right now, it's 10 minutes to 10 p.m. And so let me come back in about 20 minutes and let's see if it's dry. Let me finish off the rest of the card and I'll get back with you, okay? Thanks a lot. Alrighty, I'm back. And I want to show you the front part of the card. It did take this gel a good 45 minutes to dry, and then it still wasn't totally dry in the center parts, so I used my heat gun to dry it up. But it turned out really cute, so I cut it down. And then this is the front of the card. As you can tell, it's an Easter card. And then I added, and you can see, because it's the depth of the gel, there's some raised edges, but it is stuck. I mean, it is on there. And then of course for tonight, what I'm going to do is put something heavy on top so I really get sure it sticks well. Not heavy, but enough to make sure that everything does stick and didn't come off. And then I raised these. I cut these out. This was actually in let me show you. This was in a kit. And come on, where are they? Here they are. This is a hot off the press, and what you do, it's on a CD-ROM, and you can find all kinds of things on the internet to print your own items, but it cuts out you print out the instructions, and I just print mine on paper because I always transfer it to cardstock. So I print it on paper, and it tells you all the steps of what to do. I hope I'm in focus there for you, but there it is with all the little steps of what to do, how to do everything. So you print that. I only print one of the sheets out. I have these extras because I'm teaching a class for my crop. I don't know if we're still going to have it, but I made extra copies last month for this class. I'm trying to get myself ahead of the game for my crops, but I printed a whole bunch of instructions to teach this at a class for a free make and take for my crops that I host. And then you print this other page. My printer is running out of ink, so it's kind of wonky, but you know what? It's kind of colorful too, because I wanted it to be pastel-y looking. So here's a basket. You can use this basket with one of these messages you put over here, or create your own. So they always give you each one of these. They give you so you can write your own message. And let me put that down. So you cut all this out, but it just tells you how to do it. And then here's the little extras. So I went ahead and cut the little extras out. And then what I did is I just popped them up on some, here they are, some pop dots. And the double-sided pop dots. And then I like to save these because you get the square ones, you get the round ones. The round ones are kind of always hard to find. You find the square ones all the time. But I like the round ones because I use those to put on my pennies when I make my spinner cards, because they roll really a lot easier because they're round. And then you know this negative stuff, don't waste it. Don't throw this away. You cut this out into the pieces that you need, and then you pop them off and use it. And you can see, I'm going to put it to the side. You can see where that's been raised. So it gives you a double look. Oh no, there's a word for it. What's that word? It's raised, but you can see the flower underneath it. Let me pull this open. See, you can see the flower that's already on the original print, and then it's just popped up with a little double-sided adhesive foam tape. This one I just stuck totally flat with my ATG gun. Okay, and then these little flowers are raised. It just kind of gives you a little bit double effect look, and it makes it stand out a little bit more. But what I'm going to show you now is to use the Stamp-A-Majig. This has been around for quite some time. This one's from Stampin' Up. There's all different kinds out there. You can find these at your local box stores. But what you do is you get the Stamp-A-Majig, and then you get this little piece of plastic. And what you do is you line this up. You flush these two corners flushed against this holder here. Stamp-A-Majig, I think is what you call it. And then you get your stamp, and bear with me because I already stamped it. And then you stamp it, you ink this up, then you stamp it on there, and then you can see there's an impression. No, it's not really clear because it's not meant to be clear. It's just you want to be able to see it. So you get your project. Let me move my stuff out of the way because I don't want to be getting ink everywhere. And then wherever it is that you want to put it, you line this up where it is that you want it to be. Okay. And then you line up your Stamp-A-Majig, and you can feel it flushed. You'll see where it is, and you can also feel it. See, it's not going anywhere, and it's there. And then you take this off, then you ink your stamp, and then you ink it, and it's in the exact same spot you want it. Like, or say for example, I'd inked it, but it wasn't dark enough. Like here, as you can see. It's okay, but it could be a little bit crisper. So I'm going to do this again. So what I'm going to do is, there's my impression. So I'm just going to put it right on top of where it needs to go. I'm not going to be exact because I'm not going to do this, but what you would do is before you did this, so here it is. There I'm flushed. This is flushed against that. I would go ahead and ink it again, and don't let go of this. Leave it there so it doesn't move, and then re-stamp it again. And this is the same thing as a MISTI. This is the old version before they came out with the MISTIs. This is a stamping tool, so it's made for wood stamps, because with your MISTI, your Stamparatus, all the other stamping tools that are out there, they're not made for wood blocks. But this is a perfect way for you to use this and get a good impression. And you get it as dark as you want. So now we're going to do this, but I'm showing you now. I'm going to wipe this off. Okay. And move this out of the way. Now what I'm going to do is, I hope I'm in focus there. I am just going to stamp. I'm doing my next wood stamp, but it's a little Happy Easter. Okay, so I'm going to get my ink it up. And as you can see, the whole thing's not, you can see the ink in the middle is not working. This is the one big problem with the wood rubber stamps, is when they get older, you don't get an even impression in the ink. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp it because it says to keep it flushed. So here's my stamp pad. Here's my plastic, my Stamp-A-Majig. I'm going to flush this so it stays right here on the edge. Stamp it. Okay, there it is. Now, move my card over here so I can stay in focus for y'all. Now you can see through there, and you can see that. See, you can see that. I hope you can see that. Let me get closer. See, there's the first impression. Now I'm going to do my second. Oh, look, I just noticed I got some purple here. Darn. I'm going to have to fix that, so. Now I'm going to position myself. Let me get this out of the way. Get that over there out of the way. Where do I want to line this stamp up? And I want it to be about right there. Now I get my Stamp-A-Majig. Feel for where it needs to be. And that's about right there. Don't let go with your left hand. Leave it on there and don't move it. Ink up your stamp, your wood stamp, ink it up again. And then flush it against the Stamp-A-Majig and go and press straight down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 is usually my magic number. Okay, there it is, but you can see it didn't really get a good crisp look. So I'm going to ink it again. I'm not moving my left hand. I'm still holding on to the Stamp-A-Majig because I don't want it to move. And there I am doing it again. And as you can see, for some reason on the bottom of the Easter part of the letter E, it's not inking well. Okay. I don't know why. I don't know if it's warped or what. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to put more pressure on the back and push down on it. And hopefully this time I got a better impression. And yes, I did. But look at that. See the HAPP? It's not very dark. I'm going to do this again. And I'm looking to see to make sure that the ink is over there, over the letters that I want. So I just need the HAPP. So I'm going to just do the edge. I don't want to get the rest because I don't want to get it too dark. But I just want the edging of the HAPP of happy. Now let's see. Go back. Put a little pressure down here. And there we go. A little bit better, but I want the E, the bottom half of the E. So I'm going to ink it again. I'm double checking to make sure the ink is on there. That's the one good thing you can do with the wood blocks, is you can see that. Okay, do it again. Press down. And I'm pressing more heavily on the bottom half because that's the part that's causing the problem. And there I am. I like that. But that is how you use your Stamp-A-Majig. And then all you have to do is, before I go any further, because I've got ink here, I see that. I'm going to fix that. Move this over to the side. Let that dry. All you do is get a wipe or a wet stamp chamois, whatever it is that you have, and wipe off the ink off your, what do they call it? They call this, see, this is Stamp-A-Majig from Stampin' Up. It's a stamp positioner tool. It gives you easy alignment. It doesn't tell you how to clean it. Okay, so I'm just going to use a wet wipe. Pick this up. And as you can see, the ink is gone. See, there's no ink there or either side. And oh, you definitely want to use stamp on the textured part, not the smooth part. And that's because you just want to be able to see where it is or where to position it. You don't want to have it stamped and stuff, but you can see there's the ink that came off. That's on my wipe. You can put the rest of it for reusing the rest of that. And now that completes the project. So here is my completed card. And of course I will put on the very back, created by, handmade by Rosa Rubio Giotta. And here's the card. It's a little bit bigger. I think this is a 5.5 by 6 1/8. I'm not good with measurements, as everybody knows. So let me get my little cheat sheet tool, as everybody knows. I got them off the internet, how to do the measurements. So this is my cheat sheet. I have 3 of these. One that stays here at my desk, one that's in my travel bag, and another one that's in another travel bag in case I just go for like a 4-hour crop instead of a 2-day crop. So I have 2 bags, and I have a bunch of these. And I got these at Tuesday morning. And they had a whole package of these for $1.99. It doesn't say how many, but you can see here. You can see how many there. There's quite a lot of them there. And there's a measurement. There's a word on the back message. It says, "Life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the number of moments that take our breath away." I thought that was a great message. So every once in a while, I'll give one of these rulers out to a friend of mine, or I'll pop one into them in their card just to let them say, "Hey, I'm thinking about you," and stuff. So I keep those right here with me. So my measurements. So that was actually, what did I say? The measurements. This was 6. And because I don't know my numbers, I don't know my measurements, I know I'm bad, but it is what it is. So this is actually 6 1/4 by 5.5. Yep, 5.5. So I'll need to make me a 5.5 by 6 1/4 envelope, which I will do in a minute. I'm going to do that later. I'm not going to do this on... Everybody knows how to do envelopes. If you don't, watch one of my other videos. I've already downloaded how to do that. I have another video on how to make your own envelopes. But I'm using the envelope maker. Here's your measurements. It tells you this is what size cardstock. This tells you what size paper you need. And this tells you where to punch and score. This is your score tool. This is where you punch. And you just punch down on it. This back here is a corner rounder, so if you want to round off your little corners so they're not pointy, you can do that. So let's say this is going to be, what did I say it was? It is 5.5 by, I'd already lost my memory. Getting old here, wiping out. So that was 6 1/4. So 5.5 by 6 1/4. I'm just going to make it 6.5, so I would use a 9 3/4 by 9 3/4 piece of paper, and I would score and cut at 4.5. So I would go to 4.5, and this is where I would line up my paper, and then I would punch and then score, and then rotate and punch and score. And the rest of everything is right here on how to put it together. So to make your own envelope. So that's a good tool. So anyway, that concludes my video for the day. Thank you so very much for watching. I really like the way it kind of turned out. You know, I wish my ink printer had ink. I've already refilled the cartridge, but this is sadly this is too late because these have already been printed. But anyway, it's still cute. I wanted it to be pastel-y looking anyway, so that's okay. But I'm thinking I'm going to highlight. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. I've got my Spectrum Noir markers, my sparkle pens from Spectrum Noir, and because there's already a lot of glitter in the background, but let's get some glitter to the little eggs. And this is the clear, and it just gives you just a hint of sparkle, and I'm just going to do that on my eggs. And we don't want to do a whole lot. You push it to release the liquid, and I don't like to do a whole lot because I don't want a whole lot of, it doesn't give you a whole lot of sparkle. It's just a hint of sparkle, just because it's Easter. And you can see, because of the double-sided foam adhesive tape, I can get underneath there. I should have done this first before I did all that, but you know, I didn't think about it, didn't do it. And I could see there that little ink, didn't I, on this egg? Oh, I see what that is. You know what that is? That is a piece of paper. I just saw that. That didn't come out Let me get my tweezers. Somehow, when I was fussy cutting this, I got a piece of paper stuck in there. It's like, okay. You know what? This is live. This is happening right now. And unlike the other people out there, I like people to see, you know what? We're all human. We all make mistakes. So you're going to see the video the way it really is. And if I messed up, oh well, you know what? I messed up. You know what? We're all human. But I hope you can see that. I'm going to tilt it. And it's just the ever so light shimmer, but you could really see it really well in person. And I just want to do that shimmer on the eggs. I'm not going to do it in the little messages or anything, but that's the finished project. There's the inside. And I will tell you, and if you're using these Gina K glitter gel, use a heavy weight, like 110-pound cardstock, because this is the 65 weight, and you can see where it's warped. You can see the warping from the gel, and even though it's just all this is just 2 layers, because it's that one layer for where I put the flowers on the back, and then the other layer, which is just this basket. It's all it is. So it's 2 layers, but still it's pretty warped. But I'm going to go ahead tonight. It's all finished. It's done. And tonight I'm going to put something kind of heavy on it, like some blocks, and let it flatten out a little bit. And also let the adhesive adhere more to these raised. But I want to show you. Look at the raised edges of that glitz glitter gel. Isn't that gorgeous? Turned out really great. And all I did was use the clear, and I used my own re-inkers. I used my Stampin' Up! Lavender lace. I mixed Bermuda Bay and Old Olive to get this shade of green. I really liked the way it turned out. I wanted to use this because I wanted to be more of a turquoise, but it wasn't. It was more greeny than turquoise, this Bermuda Bay. So that's why I went with the olive. And you know what? Just use what's in your stash. Whatever colors you have is what you use. And then for the yellow, I used the Yo-Yo Yellow. And I just put like 2 or 3 drops in there, mixed it up. You saw that in the first of the video, but that's all it was. Well, thank you so much for watching. Hit share, like, and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. But I thank you very much, and you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.